Today is ours. Let's live it. And love is strong. Let's give it. A song can help. Let's sing it. And peace is dear. Let's bring it. The past is gone. Don't rue it. Our work is here. Let's do it. The world is wrong. Let's right it. The battle is hard. Let's fight it. The road is rough. Let's clear it. The future fast. Don't fear it. Is faith asleep? Let's wake it. Because today is ours. Let's take it.
Hey, beautiful people, this is your girl, Ariel Dominique, for episode 21 of our podcast, the Say With Your Breast podcast. Thank you so much to everyone who have continued to support, tune in, share with your friends, and email me. Send me more people, you guys. Thank you so much for all of you who have. I am very excited for the lineup of guests that we will be having on the show. But we're going to dive right in because let me tell you, me and Miss Vicky Roe had such an amazing and positive and encouraging conversation. She is so inspiring for anyone who is, starting with what you have and what you, believe and dream, and you see something for yourself and you're just like, man, I just need some inspiration. I need a little bit of motivation to keep going because I'm almost at the finish line. I'm about to quit, but I'm almost there. I can feel it. I mean, this is a really great interview. And it's a really great message and a really great episode for you. Listen to me. I'm telling you, the last bit of 2018 for me, I've definitely been getting back in touch with myself, getting back in touch with the things that I love, like storytelling and, giving people a platform that it's not like they aren't already doing awesome things and people don't already know who they are. It's not like that. But sometimes it's just really cool to be recognized by your community for doing the things that you do. And I felt like this podcast was that type of podcast where young women in our community could all come and share in, what we're doing and recognize that there's way more that we have in common than what we have that's different, that should ever be separating us. We have to support each other. And so this is a very encouraging episode. It's perfect for our Thanksgiving holiday. I hope you enjoy your time with your friends, your family, yourself. Take some time to really give thanks for everything that you have. I know that I'm very thankful every time I wake up. I look around and I'm like, wow, okay, nice. And what's next? What's next, God? What's next, universe? What do you have coming for me? I know it's going to be good. So I just pray that all of you have a prosperous and positive holiday. And wow, it's almost end of 2018. That's crazy. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Thanks again for listening. Be sure to follow at Say It With Your Breast. And yeah, let's do this. Thanks again so much. So you guys, we have for episode 21, Miss Vicky Roe, which I'm sure you know the name, and I'm very, very thrilled that she's agreed to participate in our podcast.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you reaching out and doing this. This is awesome.
Thank you. And I'm trying to get the word out a little bit more. I think starting out, I wanted to see if this little crazy idea was going to be something that personally I could keep up with, make sure that I'm consistent and
right.
doing the best that I can before, I guess, trying to launch it too hard. But now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this. Why not?
Yeah, just go for it. And that's what everything just starts with, that first step. As cliche or as corny as that may sound, it really just starts with the first step, and you already are doing it. So that's amazing.
Yeah, we're going to do this thing. And so I know that listeners probably know, but can you give a little bit on who you are, what you do, and then we're just going to dive in.
Absolutely. So I'm the afternoon drive personality on Q95.5, which is in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Represent.
Yes, of course, we got you. And you know what? Just sidebar real quick. Louisiana is like no place I have ever been. It's so unique. So I'm definitely
Do
blessed
tell.
that I've got to work. Yeah, I'm blessed that I've got to work in this market for sure. But yeah, I'm the afternoon drive personality here. I've been here about a year and a half now, so I still feel like I'm relatively new, but I'm adjusting great. The people here have been great, and it's been amazing. It really has been to come into a market where everybody really welcomed me with open arms. And also this being my first official by myself on air job. It's just been great. The response has been great. And when you are in a place where people are that kind and are that helpful to you, it just makes it so much easier to do what you already love to do.
That's good. And I know everywhere that I live in New Orleans now. I'm born and raised and went to college in Lafayette. And my parents are there. I'll probably be there like tomorrow or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just funny because everywhere I go, people are like, where you from? You're not from here. Where you from?
Yeah. The accent is very unique.
Yes. It's very, and sometimes I'll see the UL, like license plate. So it's so tempting for me to like honk my horn and be extra country about stuff. But then I remember where I am.
And then also, you don't know who is going to take that honking. Like, why is she rushing me?
Exactly. But, we out here. We're sprinkled out here, too, But I saw that you you were born and raised in New York City. So what was that like? Because I love New York. I love New York.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. So I was born and raised in New York. I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina in middle school. And it was such a culture shock. It was such a huge adjustment. Just because, my dad's side of the family, my dad's side of the family is actually pretty much all in New York for the most part. And we would, always be around them, always be around each other. And it was great, but my dad's job actually ended up relocating to Charlotte, North Carolina. So, of course, he brought the family with him. So we moved. And it was just going from a huge city like New York to Charlotte, North Carolina, which Charlotte is growing. Don't get me wrong. Charlotte has grown tremendously since I've been there. But it was just so different. Just like some basic things like everybody, waving or looking. And it's like, why are they waving? They don't know me. Like, what is this about?
A little Southern hospitality.
Saying, hey. Yeah, and it's like, well, why are they saying, hey, do I know him? Do I know her? But just little things like that. And, of course, now, it's long gone. But I had, my New York accent when I came. So everybody imitated the way I'm speaking. And I'm like, I don't hear it. Like, I didn't hear the accent. So I didn't know what they were talking about. And I think that is also a reason why I don't have my accent anymore is because when we moved, it wasn't that they were picking on me, but I guess they were so enamored with it and just imitating it that I thought it was something wrong. I didn't realize that it was okay to be different. It was fine. I just took it as, well, I don't want them constantly saying all these words that I say differently. So I was like actively not, and I don't even know how, but I would actively not try to sound like I was from New York.
No.
And of course, initially it didn't even work because they still heard it and I'm not hearing anything, but over time, I guess it stuck because, I definitely don't have my New York accent anymore. But I was blessed for sure, and I never take for granted getting to grow up in New York just because I got to experience so many different people and just so many different things. New York is like a huge melting pot, and it was amazing. Like, I had friends of all ethnicities, just everything. Yeah. And being able to have different experiences there and growing up with that open-mindedness that I feel sometimes is lacking, I'm truly blessed to have. So it was definitely a culture shock moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. But in the end, that's where I ended up meeting some of my best friends, making some of the best memories. So I don't regret it at all. I'm definitely glad we got to move, and that's where I got to meet a lot of people that ended up helping me in this business too. So
that's awesome.
It was great. I just really love the fact that I get to have the best of both worlds.
Right.
Still having that wit about me, that New York wit about me, and being on my P's and Q's, but definitely embracing that Southern hospitality for sure.
Right. And do you think that being from having that balance and having that wit and that quickness mixed with that little Southern slower charm, slower vibe. Has that helped being a radio personality and coming up with programming and things like that?
I would definitely say it's helped just because, and I guess this is really in any business, but, I'm just speaking from my experience in this business. You deal with all different people. You meet all different personalities, and especially because in this business, especially starting off, we move so much. And I think that helps. I would say that, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, somebody was waving at me. And I just
Speaking of honking and waving at people, huh?
I know. I was like waving at people. They'd see me. But anyway, that's what I was saying. Yes, I think having both helps because, like I said, people move so much in this business, so you get to meet people from any and everywhere. And I think being able to be from New York but have lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, it gives me a good balance of both North and South. So regardless of who I meet, we connect them in some kind of way.
Right, in some kind of way. And I think it's really cool too. I was when reading your bio that you've pretty much been doing this from the beginning. Like you recognized that radio was something that you were very passionate about, being, in front of the camera. Even like in your student council days was something that you really loved. So what do you think it was, or what do you think other people can do to kind of find that passion and keep it going? Because you've not only kept that passion going, but it's grown. Like now you're this radio personality. You've been executive producer. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
So, and I would say, which I didn't realize, but there aren't a lot of people who necessarily know their passion from the beginning, or some people never even figure it out. So I know for sure God blessed me with knowing my passion from the beginning. It's changed a little bit over the years, but I've always knew that I wanted to be in the entertainment industry, whether that be TV or radio or some other facet of it. But I've known for sure that I wanted to be in entertainment. And, it definitely started off, like I said, I knew it was going to be either TV or radio. As I matured and as I grew, and as I went through my college courses even, I ended up taking one television course that I thought was like the end all be all. Like I had done throughout college with radio station, and it was great. But I took this one TV course, and I thought, oh my God, TV is what I want to do. This is the best thing since sliced bread. I got to get into TV.
Wow.
So I didn't do any internship, which would definitely, I would say, be one thing that I should have for sure done. Internships are key. But we'll get into that later. But I didn't do any internship. Ended up hopping into a TV news reporter role in Dothan, Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Which was great. I mean, like, the people were great. The people that I worked with were amazing. The area was amazing. It really was an opportunity that I would not take back to the world. The only thing that was wrong was that I realized in doing it, I wasn't passionate about, and I won't even say TV because I won't discount TV at all. I'll say news. I wasn't passionate about television news. It was just, I don't know, I felt like it came to a point for me, it was just so depressing, and my heart just wasn't in it. And I just realized quickly it wasn't for me, and I just started to remember how much fun I had in radio. So I'm like, okay, well, clearly TV didn't work out. So I set up that TV station for almost 2 years, and after that, I mean, I really took a leap of faith. I, talked to my parents, and thank God for them. They are been the biggest supporters throughout this whole thing. So thank God for my parents. But I, ended up just telling them, like, this TV thing is not what I wanted to be, and I was just really unhappy with it. So thankfully, they let me come back home. Really, no job lined up, no nothing.
No plan.
Taking a leap of faith that something would hopefully pop up. So I moved back home, and that's when I kind of realized that, radio is what I wanted to do. And from there, like just from connections I made over the year, reaching out to different people, that's when I ended up landing a job in radio, which was an executive producer job of a morning show. So, like I was saying, I just think that it's really about finding your niche and doing those internships. I mean, like I said, if I probably could say 2 years out of my life if I would have done an internship with TV, because I probably would have realized a little quicker, this is not exactly what I want to do.
Right.
But like I said, I don't take the experience back for anything, but I would definitely say internship. And this may sound a little weird or corny or whatever you might want to call it. But even like the quizzes online that they have.
Oh, I'm all about those. I still do those.
Yeah, definitely do those, because although you may think that you're into something, it could definitely well be on that list. But there's also probably other things that you may have not considered that could be on that list. Like with me, it was writing, and I always knew I loved writing. But I guess after I took that quiz and I actually saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, I can go that path too.
Wow.
So just utilizing all avenues that you can take, doing internships, doing stuff that you may think that you don't want to do, because you never know along the way. It may change you. You may realize, man, I really enjoyed that internship that I thought I was going to hate. So really just taking advantage of all the opportunities, taking quizzes, talking to friends and even family and saying, what do you think I'll be good at? Or what do you notice that I like? Because there may be an outside perspective that'll help.
That's a good point.
That can also go terribly wrong.
Right, be willing to really hear the answer.
Yeah, make sure you ask the appropriate people. But, just different things like that, I think could all help in leading you in the direction that you ultimately want to go in.
I love that. And that's funny you said that, because just yesterday I was having a conversation with someone and I was like, you know what? I wonder how people see me. And it was just like a random, I wonder, I really want that feedback, that I'm just curious. And they said the same thing. They were like, oh, you better be careful asking. But sometimes when you want to grow, if you're willing to see both your strengths and your weaknesses, that's an opportunity for you to grow, and actually see what it is that you can work on. And just like you said, that could have been 2 years of you doing something else that you really were in love with, but those were also 2 years that you really learned, okay, that's not for me. Just like 2 years in a relationship where you're like, you know what, I'm good. Not for me. I'm never going that way again. Yeah.
Getting that experience, and like I said, I wouldn't trade it, although it probably could take me some time, but I wouldn't trade it. Getting that experience and getting to meet the people that I met, learn the things that I learned that I can just take with me and apply future may hold, it's still an experience that I wouldn't take. Take that for anything.
That's so cool. So I know a lot of people want to know, a lot of 95.5 listeners want to know, and just curious minds, what is it like behind the scenes at the radio station? Like, what happens all day?
Oh, girl, we don't have enough time in the day.
That sounds fun.
It's so funny to me, just because a lot of the times people think it's really just about you sitting behind the mic talking. You coming to work, sitting behind the mic talking, and leaving work. Right.
Tell them what it's really like.
That sounds amazing. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that people just would have no idea about. And I would say the most important thing to remember is that we go off of ratings, just like with TV, or just like even your job, your performance has to reflect excellence, Yeah. And so because we go off of ratings, there's always things that we have to come up with, whether it's ideas about what you want to talk about on the show, whether it's content, events that you want to host, what's going to engage the people, what's going to keep them coming back and actually listening. Yeah. So it's a lot of pre-planning and things that go into it. And also, once you come up with that stuff, getting through the red tape, because then there's also, you got to get it past your boss, you got to get it past his bosses, your legal department.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes stuff, it's the whole thing. And sometimes stuff just takes so long, and you're like, well, where does the time go?
Right.
But, in addition to coming in and getting, planning your show for the day, you always want to pre-plan, just because you never know what's going to come up. And you never want to be behind. I feel like if you wait till the day of, you're always behind. You want to pre-plan a lot of the things that you do. There's commercials to record. if you have what we call endorsements, basically like companies that pay us to talk about their product, you may have to record several different endorsements. There's meetings that you go to, and really half the meetings could be emails. You know the meme? That's like Viola Davis.
Oh my God. Do I?
And so a lot of the time, it's like you have a ton of meetings, which sounds all good and great because it sounds important, but it's like, is anything actually getting done? Is it getting accomplished? Type thing.
Right.
But you have to stick to those. You got to stick to those and make sure you soak up all the information that you can from it, and hopefully you actually take something from it that you can put towards your next idea or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm just trying to think of a day to day. It's just really every day is different, and I think that's also one of the things that draw me so much to this career too, because every day is different. One day you can have 8 meetings, 3 commercials to record, prep for your show, and then the next day you may have 2 meetings, 2 commercials to record, interns that come in. I gotta hire, train, and manage the interns.
So wow. I was going to ask you about that.
And then also making sure you're current with everything that's going on. Obviously, you got to keep current with everything that's happening. You don't want to be late on anything. Because I know one of my biggest pet peeves is when I hear something that may have happened 3-4 days ago, and then they're just talking about it. But I already know that story. That happened like 4 days
right.
ago.
I could have told y'all that.
No, right. And now, granted, something may happen once the show goes off. So, like the next day, maybe even 2 days, but, you don't want to be non-relevant. So, you always got to make sure you're relevant and things like that. But, yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. And, sometimes I feel like it's one of those things you can't even describe. They got to kind of just be in it to kind of know everything that details.
So how
it really just depends on the day, but and then also if you, because I know my boss, probably within the last 6-7 months has had me do a lot of the station imaging. So the image guy that we have will record like certain stuff that we say, like, just to identify the station, like Q95.5, and then I'll end up just chopping everything up, putting music or sound effects with it. And basically, the station imaging is the stuff you hear between every single song that basically identifies our station. So I've also put that together. So putting my production skills to use.
Right, I was going to say, so that's like a whole nother technical side to what you do as well.
Which is also so important that I tell everybody, just learn any and everything that you can learn. Just because there's going to come a time where the person who does the job is not there. And if you're that person that can step up and say, oh, I can do that, you know how good that will look. That looks amazing to anybody that's around, to your boss. And then it's also good for you because then you don't have to wait on anybody. You don't have to wait on this person to get back to do this. You can just do it all yourself.
And I've learned that too with even like the podcast, and I sing and things like that. And even with that, I try to learn as much as possible. Like if I'm in the studio and I'm recording, I want to know like, what is reverb? Like, what are the different kinds? What are you doing? Like, how, because if something were to happen, I want to know at least a little bit or learn the technology or the terminology. And I guess it's the same for, like for anyone that's who's a creative. I think that's sometimes a weakness that, any creative could have, is that you're so focused on the art of what you do. Sometimes you forget the technical side and the business side.
Girl, that is me 100%.
But it sounds like that's so what you do. It sounds like you have both incorporated in your job, and that keeps it fun too. Like that kind of keeps you on your toes,
Exactly. I'm completely and 100% the same way. Like I'll get so caught up in, gotta create ideas for this, what are we gonna do for this, and all this other stuff. And then I'll go back when I'm trying to put something together. Dang, how did I do that again?
Yeah.
Like, I try to stay on top of things with both when it comes to both aspects for sure.
Yeah. Do you have any do you have to watch all the shows like the Love and Hip Hops and the Housewives and?
Well, see the good thing. Well, I guess I'll say the good and bad thing is that I was already previously addicted to every homophobic television show that there is.
So it's no torture.
The Real Housewives, all the blogs, messy stories. I already live for all of that, so it was very easily transferred to my job because I am already up to date with a lot of the stuff that's already going on. Because I'm constantly, looking at something, watching something. So it's definitely beneficial that I already had that addiction. It's so I watch the worst shows, so fake, so terrible, but I still watch it.
Right? I think it's necessary. They talk about balance. So if you want me to watch all the serious stuff, you got to give me a break. I got to watch some trash every now and then.
Right. The thing is, I feel like I found a good balance because I still watch a lot of positive and just regular shows that aren't the messy reality shows. So
right.
I found the fine line, I'll say.
Yes. I know at first my boyfriend was like, I can't believe you watch that stuff. I was like, in all of the years that we've been together, have I ever emulated anything you've seen on any of these shows?
Any of these characteristics?
Never. Trust me, it's just entertainment.
My dad gets on me all the time about, why are you watching this reality TV?
It's
and then
just fun.
He thinks I got my mom watching it, so he's like, now you got your mom watching these shows. And I'm like, I know. I get it.
That's too funny. That's too funny. So another question for you that, I'm curious about, I'm sure other people are too, but how does it work with when it's in radio and all of the stations are within the city of Lafayette? I know some of the stations I grew up on are the only stations that are still there. Everybody's still there. And everyone kind of listened to everybody. If I was in this mood, I listen to this. If I want to listen to country, I listen to this. If do you find that in radio music, and I'm asking for myself as well as other artists and local artists, do you feel like there's opportunity for artists that are local, or is it more so, top 40 hits and top 10 artists?
I would say for the most part it is a lot of the radio charting average songs that you would think. I would say there is room for local artists, especially what a lot of radio stations have started doing now. It's taking a certain time of day or something like that and showcasing new artists.
Oh, that's nice.
But what I would definitely do, because a lot of the DJs around are at clubs and things like that, so I would definitely say, get to some of the actual DJs, because I know everybody thinks a lot of people think the people on the radio are actual DJs. No, I'm not a DJ. I can't spin the record.
Let them know so they can stop harassing you.
Yeah, but there are actual DJs, and I feel like, a good avenue is to see if the DJ will play it in the club and the response it will get in the club. So that way you can kind of have some backing when you email or go visit a program director who is my boss, who is basically in charge of the station. You say, hey, Cleaning's Club is doing this response, because you never know. The program director might reach out to the DJ and say, hey, how's this doing, in the club? And they may stick the song in rotation.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say for local artists, it is about making those connections with DJs. And also, one big thing I see that a lot of artists do, just make sure you proofread your messages in your emails when you're sending it out, because a lot of artists will send me messages and a lot of them are hard to understand, either because they're missing words or they're in slang or this and that.
No, not in slang. No. Not in slang.
No, for real.
Come on, y'all. We got to do better.
So it's that's fine, because, I'm not hey, you got to have this and this and be this way. But a lot of program directors are. And if you think about it, at the end of the day, this is your business.
Right.
So if you want to represent yourself in a way that you're branding yourself and your name is becoming your business, you got to do it right. You got to come right.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I would suggest doing is check the station website, because 99.9% of the time, there's the information as far as how how to submit your music is on the station website. So before you reach out to any and everybody asking them, how do I do this, how do I do this, the first thing they're going to ask you is, well, did you check the website? Because it's up on there and it's laid out exactly what you got to do.
Yeah.
So just making sure, they check the website. And then I don't know about other program directors, but my boss, he even has on the website certain days and times that he'll actually take calls. So
that's cool.
Make sure you look at that too, and then make sure you actually have sent the music already. So if he answers on that time he's saying the music call, and he said, hey, and you're like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about my song. Okay, well, where is? Because that's gonna be the first thing he asks. Mm-hmm. So if he doesn't have it, that's a whole other extra step that you got to take to go send him the music. When you can say, hey, I emailed it to you on this date. This was the subject line, and he can just easily pull it off.
All right, you guys. So y'all hear that?
Making sure you're really on top of your game, because it's tough, especially as a local artist or just an independent artist in general with no big backing. Yeah. It's tough to break it. But if what will make you stand out more is staying on top of your P's and Q's with like little things like I said, like that. Just checking the website, checking how you can submit music, calling at the appropriate time, proofreading those emails. That's going to help you go a lot further.
That's right. Yeah, that makes sense. And you guys, come on now, we got to do better. We can't email people.
Oh, girl, if I sent you some of the messages I have responded to in just this year and a half that I've been here, you would be like, you wouldn't even think it was real. No, that can't be. Nobody sent you that. Oh, yeah, I've seen it all.
That's a shame. That's really a shame.
Yeah, we gotta do better. Come on.
So y'all got some good tips on there. So make sure if you are an artist or a solo artist or independent artist or a local artist or whatever, check the website. Make sure your music is what it needs to be. Make sure your emails are what it needs to be. And then follow up. Like follow up in the right way,
And always make sure you have a clean copy. Always send a clean copy, because you remember, this is radio. We can't just be playing all.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Please make sure you send a clean copy. No crazy stuff. Because that's the first thing that's going to get you disqualified.
Yeah.
They're going to turn it off and be disconnected with it.
That's very good point. So how was it for you as a woman in entertainment, and how has the journey been? I mean, everything is Black Girl Magic right now, so I just want everybody to know we're everything. But how has your journey been? No, like really. In all of this, like has it had some ups and downs, just in terms of how maybe executives or program directors or the public or the listeners have treated you differently, or maybe even I don't know, like has it been a challenge being a woman, being a Black woman?
It's not. Yeah, of course it's not. Bubblegum and unicorns, of course not.
Yeah.
But there are definitely ups and downs. I would say, just thinking back of just the process and the journey that I've been on, what they say in church, my good days way outweigh my bad days.
Yes.
That is for sure. Because I think also, and this is how I just don't understand how people say God is not real, because He has been so real and so present in my life. There's no way I could ever deny it. Because from jump, I have just been blessed with so many people who are just so willing to help me and so willing to grow me that sometimes it's just like, wow, this is like overwhelming in the best way possible, just because it's so amazing to know that there are so many people out there willing to help. From the beginning, it's just always been rough. Getting that foot in the door is the roughest part.
Yeah.
That was the most humbling experience ever.
Really?
Just because, trying to land that first job, it's just really tough, just because there's so many people out there. There's so much competition. You don't know what certain program directors are looking for. Some are looking for one thing, and some are looking for the complete opposite.
Yeah.
What one might tell you is wrong, the other one might love about you. So it's like you never know what you're going to get. And just trying to get in the door is like, one of the biggest hurdles, I would say for sure. To a point where, I was thinking like, okay, this is not going to work. God, I need a backup plan because it's been some years and I'm still not where I want to be.
Right. Right. Everyone can relate to that for sure.
I mean, I'm 29 now, and just got into last year my first official radio on air job. That was just me. Before it was producing or in promotions. It was different roles, which was great because I got the experience from those jobs.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I knew I wanted to be on air, and so trying to get there, I mean, it was so rough, and like I said, it was just so many times where I just wanted to stop. But another way I know God is real is because every time I would ask God, is this the path I'm supposed to be taking? Am I supposed to be on air? Is this what I'm even supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
Either I promise you, either that day or the next day, I would get an email or a call from a potential job opportunity. Every time. And this happened probably 4 or 5 times because I try not to question it too much, but then sometimes it's been months and years and I'm like, okay, God.
All right. I need one of your miracles.
Right. So about 4 or 5 times, maybe a couple more, but it would be, all right, God, this is serious. Like, am I supposed to be doing this? That day or the next day, I would get a job opportunity call. Now, of course, obviously, I didn't always land those jobs, but I feel like that was a message in itself saying, yes, you're going in the right direction. Right. I'm going to send you a sign.
I'm here.
So I think that was so helpful in just really keeping my faith. I mean, oh my goodness, keeping my faith really got me all the way through. But even from the beginning, what I would do, I would email, once I saw a station that I wanted to work at, anybody's email that was on the website, I would email them.
Yeah.
It's just
ambitious.
I'll email them, just saying, hey, and not asking for, hey, I need this job. Can you? No, it was more so about just asking for advice. Because I think people respected that a little bit more, and they took to that a little bit better as opposed to me just saying, hey, I seen this job on your website, hook me up.
Right.
Type thing.
Right.
So I think, and just like I noticed from that, I just got so many responses. Even if it wasn't somebody who could give me a job, the advice I got from it is incomparable. It was just something that was overwhelming to see how many people actually took the time to write back and just give me pointers, give me advice, tell me where to look, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
So I was really blessed as far as having it up for that. I would definitely consider that one of my ups. And, like I said, as far as down, just staying persistent in the pursuit of your passion.
Ooh.
That was one of the hardest things.
Don't brush over that. Can you say that again? That was great.
Staying persistent in the pursuit of your passion.
I like that.
It's so important just because there are so many things that jump in our way, whether it be something like me where I feel like I'm running out of time, whether it be just not breaking into that opportunity in the position that you wanted.
Yeah.
Or just anything. I feel like we always get so caught up in time getting away from us and how long it's taking. But I'm telling you, if that's your purpose and you know that's what God has called you to do, it's not going to get away from you. It may not happen on our time, but it's going to happen on His for sure.
Yeah. And it will happen.
That's always the perfect timing. That's always the perfect timing. But I'm not going to lie, it was a struggle. I mean, you can ask my friends and family, there would be days where I would just literally nothing but the computer, me and the computer all day long.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm busy just because I've been staring at the computer, but
it's like a job.
Yeah, it was literally like 2 jobs.
Yeah. And just going.
Just keeping that persistence and really wanting to do it, that was rough. It was rough because, like I said, we get caught up in time, and I'm one of those people. I'm not saying we, like everybody else, you get caught up in the time that it's taking, and it can wear on your confidence. Yeah. It can start playing with you, making you think you're not good enough. But really keeping a solid support system around you and just knowing that that's what you're supposed to do, that's ultimately what's going to keep you going.
That's great. And I like that you added that too. I haven't thought about that one in a while, but that you said, having a solid support system. And I think sometimes it's easy to just say, well, none of my friends are interested in this, and no one in my family's ever, accomplished this before. So maybe it really isn't for me. And then you forget that, whether or not they've done it before or not, or whether or not that's something they're interested in or not, you never know who you're inspiring. Like, you could be inspiring your friends to do something they've never tried before, or inspiring your family to do something they've never done before, and in that still support you, and
exactly.
Don't question.
And it's amazing that you say that, just because there were quite a few people in my circle that reached out after I, really went for it and didn't give up and actually landed this first job, that reached out saying, you inspired me to, go after what I want to do, or do this, or, it could have even been something small. And it's just like, wow, really? I did? I was just doing what I thought.
Right. And you never know. You're pushing through, you're tired, you're exhausted, you don't think it's going to happen.
Oh my God.
And this whole time, people are rooting for you. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Right.
That's amazing.
You are so right.
So I have a sentence completion for you. I'm putting you back in school.
Okay. Oh God. Okay.
But it's easy, I promise. And it could be about anything. It could be about finances. It could be about relationships. It could be about spirituality, business, whatever you want it to be. Okay.
Okay.
I wish I knew blank when I was blank.
I wish I knew, and I know it probably sounds silly.
No, please.
It may be a lot for people that might think I keep going back to this, but honestly, it's in my heart.
Yeah.
I wish I knew God when I was younger.
Yeah.
And by young, I don't even mean like, I'm not talking about like 5 or anything like that, but even, like a few years back, I feel like, honestly, with God has grown so much, and the fruits that I've seen from that growth in my relationship, getting stronger with Him, are like insane. So like, to the point where I'm like, I really, on a daily basis, or maybe not daily, but a lot of the time, I'll side-eye the sky. Like, I'm like, is that you? You're up there acting up. Like,
you're acting up.
But, I mean, I really do, because I feel like, oh my God, like, it's just amazing now. I can only imagine, if I would have known Him sooner. Not that He's holding anything back from me, but it's just, I wish I knew him, like I do now, as I did before. And of course, I do, of course, I'm still at the beginning of this journey. Like, I can't quote Bible scriptures or any of that, but, I feel like my relationship with Him is growing so much, and I'm open to it, that it's really opened up so many doors that I could have never opened by myself.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I like that one as well, because everybody's journey, everybody's time is different. Everybody's relationship with God is different. But however you can find, I think it's important for us as human beings to acknowledge, even if it's hard, even if like life is not going the way you want it to go, acknowledge that there's something special about each and every one of us. And that something special was specially designed for each of us, and it's you've got God looking after you. You have your ancestors looking after you. You have, your guardians looking after you. So however
and even like you just mentioned not too long ago, people you don't even know.
Right. You never know. So that's what keeps you going. Keep going. Keep going.
And I'm not the type, I don't want to push it down anybody's throat or anything like that. I just know what has worked for me is believing and strengthening my relationship with God.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own path. And it, like I said, I'm not front pew every Sunday all day. I'm not saying that I'm perfect and that my relationship with God is perfect by any means. Because that's something, I had struggled with in the past too. It hasn't always been like this for me.
Yeah.
But, there was a point in time, I'm probably honestly about 3 or 4 years where I would not go to church. Just because it was a time where, I was going to church constantly Wednesday and Sunday. And, it was amazing. It was great. And then one Wednesday, my sister was calling me back to back while I was, in church. I'm like, what is going on? So when I finally
No.
And when I tell you that completely broke me, I mean, it broke me so far down to the point where, like I said, I was not going to church. And then even, I mean, sometimes where I would feel like, okay, maybe I could go, I just got the worst anxiety. Like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because I was just so terrified. Like, because I associated that with losing my grandmother. So I could not do it at all. But one of my friends, actually one of the very first friend I made when I moved to North Carolina, we're still friends to this day. But she had told me, after my grandmother had passed, she's like, you know how much your grandmother loves God? Like, you think she would be okay with you, like, not wanting to go to God because you think she took her from you? Your grandmother loved God, so why can't you?
Wow.
She wouldn't be believing in something that's so terrible or something that's so awful. You should love God just because of how much you love God.
Oh, wow.
And,
that's motivation.
Yeah, she said it pretty much in those words. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but the conversation we had and just that realization that I came into in that moment was more than enough to say, all right, I kind of need to get back on track.
Yeah.
And, I mean, from there, it's just been great. But, like I said, their situation, you don't know everybody's situation. They may be like me and have the worst anxiety and may really not be able to walk into that church.
Yeah.
So I don't push church or any of that down anybody's throat. But like I said, just from my experience, knowing the guy that I know and getting to know him, and what he's done for me, that's where my dirty lies.
Yeah, she's like, I know my truth.
And I believe there's just been way too many situations that I'm always like, I don't understand how you say God is not real.
Yeah.
It has been thoroughly real in my life.
That's honest. And listen, kudos to you and finding what makes you happy, because we all have to find it. Whatever it is, we got to find it.
We have to. Yeah.
So before...
It makes such a difference, too, when you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
You hear so many people who are so depressed or so, angry of having to go to work, or when Sunday comes around and they dread it. This is the first job I've ever had where I don't have that feeling.
That's amazing.
I'm not going to lie. It's a little weird just because, we're so conditioned and I'm so used to that of like, oh, work. But
yeah.
you find something you love and are passionate about, I'm telling you, that feeling goes away and it's the weirdest, best feeling in the world.
Yes, amen. I understand it. Trust me. Like, I had to make a change. And not that I didn't love what I was doing. I was working with children and doing school social work. But I just felt like sometimes I had to not be 100% myself in order to give to all of these needy people. And as much as I loved what I was doing, I was not getting refilled. And so I'm like, okay, sometimes your environment has to change.
You gotta take time to fill yourself up. You gotta fill your own cup too. You can't pour from an empty cup, as I think my mama told me.
That sounds like a mama statement.
Right. Shout out to my mama.
Right. Sounds like a mama statement. They know best. So before I let you go, because I know you'll be on air soon and you got other stuff to do today, but I just wanted to know what has been maybe some of your most fun moments as a Q95.5 radio personality. Has it been like a favorite interview or a favorite event that you've just like absolutely been so thankful for, had so much fun?
Well, I know for sure it was probably my most stressful just because like me and one of the guy that is on in the afternoon with me, we were planning it all, so it was stressful because I wanted it to go perfectly. But it was also like the most fun to meet when we had our meet and greet with Remy Ma.
Oh, dope! She seems so so sweet.
Oh my God, it was so. You know what? I really feel like it was so amazing just because. Growing up in New York, that's who me and my sister and I listened to.
That's right.
We rap
New
all
York.
the songs. Like, we knew. we were always being Ready My fans. So, I think that full circle moment was so amazing. Like, I used to be in me and my sister's room, like the room we share, in this room, rapping to Ready My, and now I'm interviewing this woman and hosting a meet and greet with
That's
her.
life, man. That's how it is.
And not only that, but I had spoken to her actually twice prior on the phone for a phone interview before she got here. And I just remember the first time, the night before I knew that first interview was going to happen, I was so nervous for the simple fact that, you know, you have an idea of like these celebrities that you love, and then you could meet them, and it's a whole different story. And it could be like, ooh, this person is not who I thought. She's not nice.
Right.
Not
So
that.
disappointed.
She's not this, not that, whatever. But when I tell you, she was everything I could have wanted and more, just from the phone interview. So I knew in person it was just going to be that much better. And she is the most down to earth, just dope.
Yeah.
Like, person, like, she was just so sweet and so nice to any and everybody she interacted with. And I feel like, and although I say we're friends, in my head, I know I don't know her that well
hey,
personally,
bestie.
but I feel like she's one of those people who is just as nice to the janitor as she is to the CEO.
Yeah.
Like, she just has such a good spirit about her, and I think that's why I really, really enjoyed that event so much, because she took the time to talk to everybody that was there, to take pictures with everybody that was there, to sign autographs. It was just so real and authentic.
Yeah.
And you don't really get that a lot in the music business, I'm sure. So to have somebody that dope and just that accommodating to anything that the station needed, I mean, I couldn't ask for more than that. So that was definitely a standout for sure.
Oh, that sounds so fun. Yeah, she seems really, really sweet. And I love watching her
mean,
show, her and
really
Papoose.
Oh, yes, I love them. And they're waiting on the golden child.
Yes, like they're so cute. And so what's next? Anything coming up that you want folks to know about? Or any opportunities or things like that?
Well, you know what? We're actually having a big planning meeting with, on-air personalities, sales department, the big bosses, coming up, I want to say it's the beginning of next month. I think it's December 1st or something like that. So we're getting ready to plan out a lot of different things for next year. So myself alone, I have 4 pages of just stuff that I want to talk about. So
okay, boss.
yeah. So, and there's going to be all the stations that are in the building, we're all going to be there. So it's going to be a pretty expensive meeting. So I don't know exactly what's coming up, but I have a lot of ideas that I pray go
That's
through
awesome.
and get through legal and all that stuff.
Yes, good luck. It sounds like.
As soon as we, get through this meeting, because that's the meeting that everybody's waiting for, so we can plan, because, the year's pretty much over now, and a lot of people are out of town. I'm getting ready to go out of town, so. But yeah, we're planning to do it real big next year, and I'm just praying it all goes through. So
yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations, and thank you so much. You've been such an inspiration. So
thank you so much.
I'm very curious.
Thank you for taking the time out to do this.
Yes, for sure. I appreciate you so much. And for everybody listening, make sure that you follow. Give your social media handles and all that stuff.
Yeah, I gotta give my info.
Yeah.
I always ask people that at the end of interviews, and I forgot to do it myself. So yeah, you can follow me at Vicky Roe Radio, and that's VICKYROE Radio, all one word. And that is Instagram and Twitter. I'm not really on Twitter as much as I should be, but Instagram is definitely where you need to follow that for sure. And then also follow my station page on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Q955. And make sure you listen. Of course,
yes.
Monday through Friday from 3 to 7 Central Time.
Yes. So that's like almost right now.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to hopefully call my friend and bring me some lunch, and then prepare for the show.
Yes. Well, you have an awesome day and awesome time on air. I'll be tuning in. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for doing this. You are doing awesome. If there's anything you need in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out. What you're doing is amazing. You're giving a platform to people, and just keep going. You are awesome. We got that black girl magic, and we're keeping it pushing.
Yes, I appreciate that. I needed that. Thank you so much. All All right, beautiful people. Thank you again so much for tuning in. This was episode 21 of our podcast, Say It With Your Breast. Make sure to follow Instagram, share with your friends, share with your family. Check out the blog, www.saywithyourbrest.com, and keep being you. Thanks. Have a great Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.